McGregor is following the many twists and turns in this story from Ottawa.
Let's talk about the context for John McCallum's remarks, because it was a news conference yesterday in Markham, Ontario. People who remember his life in politics may remember that that is where he's from. He used to represent a Markham riding. He's been back in Canada for the last few weeks from Beijing, first for some holidays and then for some official business, briefing cabinet last week, speaking to the Foreign Affairs Committee last Friday, to sort of speak to Canadians and address their concerns about what's been happening in the Chinese bilateral relationship. So this news conference, the CBC was not invited to it. It was a news conference for Chinese language media, some of which are based, are Canadian media, but in the Chinese language. Others are Chinese national media. And so we were only alerted to it after sort of some of the clips and the highlights of this started being disseminated, and the clip we just played has been distributed through a wire service, which is why we're able to show it to you. This was a wide-ranging news conference. He talked about a lot of different things. This clip was in his opening remarks. It did not come as the result of a question. He began this news conference by talking about how his life as ambassador in Beijing changed on December 1st when Meng Wanzhou was arrested at Vancouver's airport. And he offered this assessment of her legal case, if you will, kind of, on his own accord, I guess, proactively. Very interesting for a variety of reasons. First of all, I think once we got into the extradition proceedings, her next court date is February 6th. We did expect some of these arguments to come out, particularly from her defense team. Some of them have been out there already from some sort of Chinese commentators. But I don't think we expected, certainly Canada's ambassador, to start litigating this in the media the way it now appears that he has. And he called this case a total surprise to him, which I thought was interesting. He also weighed in with the assessment that it would not be a happy outcome if Meng was extradited, which is, again, an opinion, maybe somewhat unexpected one from him. And he also was asked specifically why the Chinese are so upset about this, and he seemed to have information that suggested that this was a case that had upset President Xi Jinping directly, and saying that some of the harsh treatment of Canadians we've seen are because officials have been sort of trying to reflect the opinions from the top. So a lot in this news conference to parse and break out, but certainly raising a lot of eyebrows today.
They certainly are. So apart from the Prime Minister, what's some of the other reaction you're seeing?
Yeah, so very interesting. Once outlets started sort of disseminating this clip in particular, Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland's office reached out proactively with a statement from her spokesperson, and I'm just going to quote it directly. This is Adam Austin, her spokesperson. He said that Canada is conducting a fair, unbiased, and transparent legal proceeding. There has been no political involvement in this process. Canada respects its international legal commitments, honoring its extradition treaty with the United States. And sort of those are talking points kind of resemble what Justin Trudeau was saying. It seems to be a little bit of space now between the Foreign Affairs Minister and her ambassador, sort of more kind of what we've been hearing from the Canadians all along from Freeland's office there. This is a point not missed by the opposition in all of this. Conservative Foreign Affairs critic Aaron O'Toole taking to Twitter today to kind of weigh in on what he thinks of what Ambassador McCallum has said. He said, just in brief, that for Ambassador McCallum to comment in detail on the legal merits of an extradition case after closed-door meetings with the Liberal cabinet, that's what he was doing last week, the ambassador, on the subject, raises questions of political interference. So, as much as people have been talking about whether Donald Trump may have stepped in it and politically interfered with the legalities of this criminal case, now we have accusations that John McCallum maybe has made remarks that would amount to political interference in this case. So, it was already going to be complicated, it's already going to be long, it's already going to be unprecedented. Now we have this new wrinkle, buckle up.